Hi everyone, in today's video we are going to discuss about the how to balance chemical equations using stoichiometry, and we will learn this step by step. Okay, so you will see that many students try to balance equations using trial and error method. For example, if you will see how water produced, so what is the formula of water? The chemical formula is H₂O, right? So how we write H2 plus O2 is H₂O. But is this equation is balanced one? No, this is not balanced. When it will be balanced? So it will be balanced when simply I write here 2. Okay, so and I'll write 2 here. So now if you will see 2 to 4, and number of atoms of hydrogen are 4 here, number of atoms of oxygen are 2 here, and number of atom of hydrogen are 4 here plus 2 here. So total is 6 here and also 6 here. Now this is the balance equation, right? So what I did here, I applied the trial and error method, right? If the equation is simple, then it is okay. But if the equation is complex, for example, the manufacturing of vinyl chloride, okay, so this trial and error method becomes confusing, right? So that's why what we will learn today. So we will see systematic method using stoichiometry, how to balance the chemical equation. So what we are going to learn, first of all, we will discuss that what is stoichiometry, what is the definition of stoichiometry. Then we will see some simple examples, okay, so that you could understand the what is the meaning of balance chemical equation, okay, and how to balance the chemical equation. Then we will also discuss about the why balancing equation is important, okay, what is the significance of this, and in the last we will see the step-by-step strategy for balancing the chemical equations, right? So now first of all, let's see that what is stoichiometry. So in simple words, or before balancing equation, we must understand that what is stoichiometry. So stoichiometry is nothing but a quantitative relationship between the reactants and product in a chemical reaction, okay. If you see the one example, that is your nitrogen plus hydrogen produce the ammonia, okay, NH₃. So this is your balanced equation, okay. Here the nitrogen atoms are 2 and 2 nitrogen atoms are here, 6 atoms of hydrogen are there, and 6 atom of hydrogen are there as well. So this is the balance equation, we can say. So the stoichiometry will tell the quantitative relationship between the reactant. So what are the reactants here? Your nitrogen and hydrogen are the reactant, okay, and what is the product? Ammonia is the product, okay. You can simply say that the left hand side is your reactant and it will be reactant always, and the right hand side will be always your product, okay. It tells us about the how many moles of each substance react and how many moles are produced. So simply what you can say here, you can say 1 mole of nitrogen when react with the 3 mole of hydrogen, so 2 mole of ammonia produced, okay, as simple as that, right? And one more thing, when we balance an equation, we are basically making sure that the number of atoms on reactant side must be equal number of atoms on product side. So if you will see here, so the number of atoms on reactant side will be equal to the number of atoms on product side, then only your equation, your chemical equation will be balanced, okay. And what is the science behind it? What is the law behind it? So law is your law of conservation of mass. Why? Because mass can neither be created nor destroyed, okay. That's why you will see here that your number of atoms will be equal both the sides, okay. I hope you understood that what is the stoichiometry, right? Now let's see why stoichiometry is important and why balancing chemical equation is important, okay. Let's see that. So balancing chemical equation is very important, whether you are in chemical engineering, process design, you are doing material balance, you are preparing heat and material balance, you are in the industrial chemical plants. For example, let's suppose you are involved in the manufacturing of ammonia, manufacturing of urea, or manufacturing of vinyl chloride. So without balanced equation, we cannot calculate the raw material consumption. So this is very important. If you will see here, the N2 plus 3H2, it becomes 2NH3, right? So if this equation will not be balanced, you cannot calculate that what will be the raw material consumption. Raw material means how much your nitrogen and hydrogen is required. You cannot calculate that until your equation will not be balanced. Please understand that, and this is very important as a chemical engineer and process engineer. You cannot calculate the product yield, you cannot design the system, you cannot design the reactor. Okay, that's why the stoichiometry is a fundamental concept in chemical engineering. Now, before proceeding ahead, I would like to say, if you are preparing for the interview and if you want I help you in your upcoming interview, so you can simply connect with me in LinkedIn as well as in Instagram. Okay, or I will mention my Google form in the description as well as in the comments box, so that you can simply connect with us and our team will connect with you, so that we can help you in your interview one-to-one, and that will be the one-to-one session, so that you can simply ask your doubt to me and I'll help you in your interview as well as in your resume building, and I will review the resume. Or if you are a fresher, so we will prepare your resume, and if you feel that there is one subject which is weak, okay, and you want to make that subject strong, so you can simply book your session with us, so that we can help you in that subject. Okay, so now let's discuss further. Okay, so if we see the example, so one example we have already seen, that is your production of ammonia. Okay, so this is your nitrogen plus hydrogen makes the NH3. Okay, so if you will see, this equation is not balanced. Okay, how I know that this equation is not balanced? This equation is not balanced because if you will see here the number of atoms, so the nitrogen is here 2 number of atoms, hydrogen is 2, so it becomes 4. Okay, if you will see here, so number of atom of nitrogen is 1 plus number of atom of hydrogen is 3, so it becomes 4. Okay, but if you will see here, the nitrogen is here 2 and the nitrogen is here 1. Okay, and the hydrogen is here 2 and hydrogen is here 3, so this is unbalanced one. Okay, please understand that when I say the number of atoms on the reactant side and number of atoms in the product side should be equal, it means that the number of atoms of individual element. Okay, please understand that. So how it will be balanced? So with the simple trial and error method, you can simply say, what you can do, you can simply write here N2, here 3 your 3 atom of the hydrogen, right? So what we will do, H2, we will write here 2NH3. Why 2? Because here N2 is 2 in the reactant side, so I will simply write here 2NH3. Now the hydrogen becomes 6, so I will simply write here 3. So 3 into 2, 6, this is 1. Now if you will calculate here, so this will be your number of atom of nitrogen is 2, hydrogen is 6. If you will go here, so number of atoms of nitrogen is 2 and hydrogen is 6. So now it becomes balanced. Hope you understood the point. Okay, now there is the question for you all. The question is H2 plus O2 and it becomes H₂O. Now let me know in the comments box what will be the balanced equation. Okay, please let me know in the comments box. Now we will see one more example where we will go with the step-by-step process how we can balance the chemical equation if your equation is complex. For step-by-step strategy for balancing the chemical equation, please make sure that number of atoms must be equal both the sides while balancing the chemical equation. When I say the both the side, means your reactant side and product side, so the number of elements of the atoms must be equal both the side. Okay, now here we will balance one complex equation, that is your manufacturing of vinyl chloride from ethylene, chlorine and oxygen. Okay, we will balance this equation. First of all, is this equation balanced right now? No, this is not balanced. Okay, how we can say here? Simply, if you will see the hydrogen, number of hydrogen atoms, so in the product side it is 3 and plus 2, 5, but in the reactant side it is only 4. Okay, just for the example. And if you will see the chlorine, number of atoms of chlorine at the reactant side is 2, but at the product side 1. Okay, so what we will do, we will balance this equation. Okay, now let's see how we can balance this equation. So first of all, what we will do, we will simply do one thing. We will write here the A. Okay, what we are doing here, see, if the A, let's suppose if A is not there, so what we are saying that 1 mole of ethylene when react with the 1 mole of the chlorine plus 1 mole of the oxygen, so it produce 1 mole of the vinyl chloride plus 1 mole of the water, right? Now because we have to balance this equation, so I am writing here, I don't know what will be the A. Okay, because it could be 1, it could be 1, 2, 3, so I am writing here unknown number, we are writing here as A, we are writing here B, we are writing here C, same D here and E here. Okay, so what we can say now, we can say A moles of ethylene when react with the B mole of chlorine plus C mole of oxygen, so it produce D mole of the vinyl chloride plus E mole of water. Okay, and this is very helpful when you calculate the reactant, or when you calculate the quantity of your product. Okay, now what we will do, first of all we will balance the carbon. So what is the carbon here, you can see here the number of atoms of carbon is here, and in the product side it is here. So now we will balance the carbon. So what we can write here, we can simply write here 2A is equal to 2D, right? And it will be your A is equal to D. Okay, so this is your equation number 1. Okay, now same we will balance the hydrogen now. So we are simply balancing the individual element. Okay, this is your carbon. Now I am balancing the hydrogen. So for hydrogen, 4A is equal to, if you will see here, so here is your 3D plus 2E, right? Now from equation number 1, what we can do, we can simply write D as A. So what it will become, it will become here your 4A is equal to 3A plus 2E, so it will become A is equal to 2E. Okay, I hope you understood here. Now what will be the E? E will be your A by 2. This is your equation number 2. I hope you understood the point here. Okay, now can we go ahead? Yeah, we will go ahead now. Now we will calculate the chlorine. Okay, so if you will see the chlorine, so what can I write here in the chlorine? So in the reactant side it is 2B, and in the product side it is D only, right? From equation number 1, what I can write, I can simply write B is equal to A by 2. Can I write? Yes, because D is equal to A from equation number 1. Okay, now we will balance out the oxygen, right? So on the reactant side it will be 2C, and in the product side it will be E, right? So how can I write it? So I can simply write it as C is equal to E by 2. Now if you will see from equation number 2, E is equal to A by 2, right? So from equation number 2, what I can write here, I can simply write here A, okay, by 2 into 2, it will become A is equal to A by 4. Okay, so this is your C now. Okay, I hope you understood the point. Now simply what you have to do, you have to put all the values in your equation number this. Okay, let's suppose this is your equation number A. Okay, so you have to put the value of A, B, C, D, E here. So first of all what we will do, we will mention A as a 1. So why we are doing that, just simply understand here. From equation number 1, A is equal to D. Okay, then when we calculate the E, we calculate the E with respect to A. Okay, so A by 2 here. Same, if you will see here, so when we are balancing the chlorine, so B is equal to A by 2. In the form of A, we have calculated the B. Same, when we balance out the oxygens, also we calculate the oxygen, or we calculate the C with respect to A only. Okay, so now if we consider A is equal to 1, so what will happen? Let's see here. Okay, I will remove this one. Okay, if you consider A is equal to 1 and whatever values you have calculated, you have to simply write here. So it will be your C2H4 plus C. When you calculated the B, so B was, what was the value of B? B was A by 2. So it will be simply now your 1 by 2 Cl2 plus, what was the value of C? It was A by 4. So simply we can write here A by 4 O2. Now if you will go here, but what was the value of D? It was, D was equal to A. So simply we can write here C2H3Cl plus, what was the value of E? The value of E was 1 by 2 or A by 2. So we can write here H2O into 1 by 2. I hope you understood the point here. Okay, now we will multiply reactant side and product side by 4. Okay, so that this value could be cancelled out. Okay, so simply now what it will be, it will become your 4 C2H4 plus, when you will multiply 4 into 2, so it will become 2 Cl2 plus O2, and here it will become 4 C2H3Cl plus 2 H2O, right? So now this equation is the balanced one. Okay, this is very simple. Literally, if you will practice 2 times or 3 times, you will get to know that what I want to tell you. Okay, and the more important is, see, the equation is complex, right? So if you will do here the trial and error method, you could be stuck. Okay, and you can get confusion. Okay, that's why I told you this method. This is very simple method. Simply you have to write here the A, B, C, D. Okay, unknown alphabet, you, because we do not know right now. But if you will see in the balanced equation, we can say 4 mole of ethylene when react with the 2 mole of chlorine and 1 mole of oxygen, so it produces 4 mole of vinyl chloride plus 2 mole of water. Okay, that is simple one. Okay, why I am saying this in the mole? Because it represents the mole ratio. Okay, now if you have any doubt in this video, please let me know in the comments box. I will definitely resolve your doubt as soon as possible. So that's all for the today's video. Thanks for watching. Keep learning. Thank you.